This is probably the worst saga I've ever heard all of you guys rant about. Hey y'all, we're right. Let's do this again. Hey y'all, back at it again with another video. What you thought this was? You thought you got rid of me, you didn't. Today we're going to talk about books from BookTok that severely disappointed me. They disappointed me so bad. Okay, we're gonna start off like immediately because this one really made me really upset. Really. I wanted to like this one so bad. Akatar! You swear up and down that this is literally the best book to ever exist. This is probably the worst saga I've ever heard all of you guys rant about. I actually did not finish it because it was that bad. I'm so sorry. I wanted to like it so bad because all of you talk about it. I did not like it. I think it was like 40% through. I could not do it. I gave it a good chance. I gave it a chance and I couldn't, okay? So here are my bullet points. Number one, it makes no sense how they let her live.
What are you talking about? What do you mean?
After she did what she did to the wolf in the beginning, alive for a life, that should be grounds for death. That shouldn't be, oh, we're going to replace you and you're going to live with us and we're going to live with the murder of our friend. In what world does that make any sort of sense? It would have been more interesting that way if he would have tried to kill her, or if his real plan in the beginning was that he was going to kill her or something like that. Anything. I related a lot to Farah in the beginning, like with the sisters and all of that stuff, and I actually found it pretty entertaining, maybe the first 20% of the book, but it just started going downhill from there. Because my next pointer, the writing is absolutely diabolical. Because what do you mean there are so many descriptions in between dialogue? I forgot that she was even having a conversation in the first place. My blood is boiling because of how mad this book makes me. I don't know why it makes me so mad, but it does. Next pointer. This one's gonna be short and sweet. There's literally a line in the book where she says she purred, where she says he purred. I'm immediately, because my husband was reading with me. He was trying his best. He was trying his best to power through. But we couldn't. After that, it was done. It was over. Next book. Y'all might hate me for this one. Don't hate me. It's just my opinion, you know? And my opinion is the correct one, right? So here we go. It is Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. You really wasted my time with this one. Why? It was almost 600 pages of straight up nothing. I will give it some credit for maybe the world building was great. The magic system was super interesting. And the dragons, I love dragons. That is so cool. And I thought enemies to lovers, dragons, a school where you learn to be a dragon rider. This is literally a recipe for a 5-star read. Oh my gosh. Guys, I think Cat's Eye might have screwed me just a little bit. The way that my phone was playing gnarly the entire time through my earbuds, we're gonna continue. It was a recipe for literally a 5-star read for me. However, there were just a couple things that were just too important for me. One of the things that I didn't like about this book was the pacing. Not much the writing, the pacing. I can look past bad writing if the book is entertaining enough. For example, The Housemaid. Where is it? The Housemaid over there. Hello. The writing's not that great, but I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed the book, and it kept me, you know, flipping the pages. This book, however, I had to power through. Here's the thing. A lot of y'all said enemies to lovers, right? Okay, tell me why the romance comes in literally 80% through the book. And once the romance starts, it's just spice. It was the biggest eye roll ever, because I'm waiting and I'm like, I'm sure the payoff will be great. I'm sure the payoff will be amazing. I'm sure we're gonna get some yearning, some love confession. We got none of it. I was starving the entire book. It was giving me a headache. Also, can we talk about how Xaden was never actually a threat to Violet? He was never a threat, and apparently he was supposed to be out to kill her, and he did nothing and admitted that he didn't even have it in his brain to try that. I don't feel like that's actual enemies to lovers. I need them to actually truly hate each other deeply, okay? I needed to be a slow increase of love. I don't need to just be like enemies to lovers immediately, because that's exactly how this book felt. It felt like we went from 0 to 100, and we're going to talk about that because another one of my points is the dragon scene. The dragon mating scene, if you know what I'm talking about. Ew. If you don't, you're so lucky. You're so lucky. Because the second that I read that, I wanted to rip off my eyeballs because of how uncomfortable that scene made me. It just made me so uncomfortable. Because what do you mean? Guys, I'm sick. Don't mind me coughing. I'm still a diva though, right? But anyways, yeah, Rebecca Yarros, you're a little sick in the head for thinking about that. Like, you thought this was gonna be something hot. Like, this was gonna be like, oh, this is gonna be a great setup for a spice scene, blah, blah, blah. No, girl. No, girl. I was just really uncomfortable, okay? Next pointer. Dane. Let's talk about Dane for a second. Because Dane is so annoying and so unlikable as a character. I hated everybody in this book. Everybody except Reese. I think his name's Reese. I don't know. Rhiannon and maybe Xaden, because he wasn't too much of a bad character. But everyone else, including Violet, made me very upset. But right now, the one that made me most upset was Dane. This is supposed to be a love triangle, okay? In a love triangle, aren't I supposed to like both of them? At least like the other one, but knowing which one the main character is going to pick. You know what I'm saying? Throughout this entire book, I never felt any sort of feelings whenever anything would happen with Dane. I hated it, actually, because any chance that he got, he would shoot Violet down. He would just be like,
oh, you can't do anything. Oh, you're too weak. You're too small. You're too frail. You're never going to make it out of this. You're not going to make it out alive.
oh my God, shut up. Literally shut up. Shut up.
Shut the up. Shut the up. Shut up.
Next pointer.
Oh my God, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the?
This one, I was able to brush it off. This part I was able to brush it off. But it was still super annoying. The entire book, Violet never fails to mention. She just mentions it anytime that she's able to. Okay. She talked about how she's so small and so frail. Literally every 2 pages. I don't need you to remind me of that, okay? I have a brain. I can think myself. I have a memory. I can store things in my memory, okay? Why do you need to tell me every 2 seconds, oh, I'm so small. God, I'm so teeny tiny.
How will I ever survive war college? I'm so frail. Yeah, you're so weak and fragile.
Just made me dislike her even more, unfortunately. Also, apparently she's the smartest out of everyone. How is she the smartest out of everyone when she's literally super naive? She doesn't suspect not once that Dane would ever read her mind. I don't know if you guys know about this part, but there was one part when he was trying to read her mind and she was like, no, stop it, no. And he's like, okay, I'm so sorry. And he puts his hand on her shoulder. And to me, that was enough reason for me to think, does he need to touch her head necessarily to read her mind? Violet doesn't even think about this. She's like, no, he never would. He never would do that. He's Dane. The same Dane that follows the rules to a T. It was still a 3-star for me. I rated it 3 stars. I did. It got points for everything that I said earlier. I was promised a romantasy and it felt more fantasy with a side of romance. And I feel like romance doesn't count when the entire time it's just Violet being like, he's so hot, he's so this, oh my God, he's so attractive, look at his muscles, blah, blah, blah. That's not romance. There's no interaction, there's no tension, there's no nothing until the very end of the book. It makes absolutely no sense. I was promised something and advertised something super heavily and I didn't get that. I'm done talking about Fourth Wing. I could go on and on and on about this book and how it pisses me off. Moving on. This next one was a very recent one that I read literally last night. It was entertaining enough for me to keep reading, just like what happened with Fourth Wing. But this one I enjoyed just a bit more. I wanted to cry. I just wanted to cry. I was in the mood to bawl my eyes out and I didn't really quite get that, but here it is. This next one is You've Reached Sam. Where do I even begin with this book? I just finished it last night and I think I rated it 3 stars. It just heavily disappointed me a little bit because I was expecting to feel so many emotions. Every single person that I saw on TikTok talk about this book, they said that they cried.
Reading You've Reached Sam in one sitting. Okay, I'm crying.
And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pick it up. Hopefully this will make me feel something, some sort of emotion, okay? But honestly, the entire book, I just felt like Sam deserved better. Julie was a very unlikable character. I tried to empathize with her since she was mourning the death of Sam, of course, but not showing up to his funeral, not showing up to the things that the friends were planning to remember him by, anything to honor him, she wouldn't show up. And I understand how some people could mourn in that way, but it just came off as selfish. She wouldn't want to hang out with Mika. She completely forgot about James. I don't know. I really tried to like her, but she was just this huge obstacle that I could not get over so that I could fully enjoy it. If she would have been a more likable character, I probably would have enjoyed this a little bit more. What also was the writing. The writing wasn't necessarily bad. It just felt very YA to me, which is okay. It's fine. But I feel like even if it's YA, it can be written better. Like, for example, Powerless is a YA book, and the writing I feel like was beautiful. It's immaculate. It's simple enough so that people can understand. It's also a little bit more flowery for people that do like that, which I'm that type of person. My point is, I feel like Destin Thau could have done it just a little bit more. Like, during dialogue, I wanted to hear Julie's thoughts, as in like how she's feeling while people are talking to her. I feel like I never got that, so I could never empathize with her. She felt very cut and dry the entire time. Even before, when Sam was alive, she felt very cut and dry. But I will say that Sam is a very beautifully written character. I loved his character. Also, for the phone calls that she's able to have with Sam, I thought we were gonna get answers as to why this is happening, how this is happening. We didn't get any answers at the end of the book. Not at all. The answer could be on the two other books. I don't think the book gave me enough for me to want to continue reading the rest of the books. For this last point, I truly feel like it was completely unnecessary. Something else could have been said. And it was a line. I'm pretty sure it was Tristan who said it. And he said, and I quote, "You can't miss that. It's gonna be lit." So that is all that I have for you today. My current read right now is Summer in the City. My friend's Alex Astor book. Okay, girl, I see you. She's so pretty. Look at the sprayed edges. She's beautiful. I got the Target edition because I just felt like it was nicer than the Barnes & Noble. Don't kill me. I'm really glad that we got a little map and everything. This is so cute. I think I'm like 3 chapters in. That's pretty much it. I just started it because I was craving the romance that I did not get from Fourth Wing, and I was craving the angst and the tension and the understanding and all of those things that I did not get from You've Reached Sam. Hopefully this book does it for me. I usually am not a romance girly. I do like a subplot of romance though. I don't know. We'll see how I like it. It's my first romance in a long time. I am planning to read Lightlark pretty soon as well. So I want to see how I like her writing. We'll see how I feel. Yeah. But anyways, bye.